Hi, and in today's Microsoft Word tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a simple business card in Word. So I've opened my default document here, and a normal business card is 2 inches by 3.5 inches. So I've converted that into centimetres because that's the measurements used in my Word software. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go up to the Insert tab. I'm going to go to Shapes, click on the drop down, and I'm going to insert this rectangle. I'm going to come over here and just click and drag. Once my shape's selected and I'm on the Shape Format tab, I'm going to go along to the height and the width and insert my dimensions. So my height will be 5.08 centimeters and my width will be 8.89 centimeters, and just press enter. And this is the size of a business card. Now what we need to do is completely format this business card, and then all we'll need to do is to just copy and paste it. So the first thing we'll do is change the color. So every shape is inserted into Word with a border. You can just see a slightly darker border around the shape and a fill color. So I'm going to get rid of the border or outline. So if I select my shape, make sure I'm on Shape Format, go to this outline icon here and select No Outline. And then from here we can select Shape Fill, click on the drop down, and then we can select from a number of colour options here, or we can go down to More Fill Colours. We can select from the colour wheel, just move the cursor around, move the slider to the lighter or the darker side, or you can use the eyedropper tool here and move over a colour within your document. This means that if you want to have a certain colour that you find on the internet, just take a screenshot, insert it into Word, then you can just hover this circle over those colours and match them. So I'm just going to go to Cancel, and I'm just going to choose a light grey. Okay, so now we need to insert our logo. So if you don't have a logo and you just want a formal picture on here or something, then I'll go ahead and show you how to just insert an icon with some text. So let's go up to Insert, go along to Text Box, click on the drop down and select Draw Text Box. Click and drag. And I'm just going to place in some text here. Just pretend that this is my brand name. It's going to highlight this and change the font. Go up to Home, go to the Font menu, and I'm going to select Futura. Now for this, I want to expand my font a little bit more, so I'm going to right click, go down to Font, and then in this dialog box here, you need to go to Advanced. And then I'm going to go to the character spacing, and obviously this is the spacing between each of your characters. So I'm going to increase that by 10 and then press OK. Now for some reason Word has changed my font, so I just need to go back and change that back to the one I selected. Once you're happy with your text, then make sure it's in the center of your text box. Make sure the text box is selected, go up to Home and then along to Center Text. Now you can see this text box has come with a classic black border and white fill. So we're going to get rid of both of those. So again, select the text box, go to Shape Format, go along to the outline, select No Outline, go to Shape Fill, click on the drop down and select No Fill. And now we just have our text. Now I'm just going to reduce the size of this text box, and then I'm just going to change the font color. So double click, Command or Control A to select all the text, go to Home, along to Font Color, and I'm going to select white. Once I'm happy, I'm just going to pull this down. There we go. Now I'm just going to increase the size of that. It doesn't seem quite as big as I need it to be, so I'm going to double click, Command or Control A, Home, and you can use these up or down, increase, decrease font size icons. Perfect. Okay, so let's now insert an icon for a logo. So insert, icons, and then over to the right here you will see your icon menu. So there's lots of different ones to choose from here. Let me just type in people, and the one I selected, I'll select this one here, click insert. Now when you insert an icon, it will go to the back of all the layers of your document. So in order to bring it forward, select it, go to graphics format, click on wrap text, select in front of text, and then this will appear. Whilst you're on the graphics format, go to graphics fill, click on the drop down and select white. And then we have our white icon logo. You can reduce or increase the size of that. Now to ensure this is in line with your logo name, hold your Command or Control key down on the keyboard and click. Now you've selected both the picture and the text. Then make sure you're on graphics format or shape format, doesn't matter. Go to the alignment tool, click on the drop down and select align to center. And you can see now these are perfectly lined up. Now if they're in the position that you want, you don't want to move them closer together, then you can group them. Keep them selected, go up to group and select group. Now you can move this round as one element. And then to make sure it's perfectly centered on your business card, make sure the group is selected, hold the Command or Control key down and select the business card. Then go back up to the alignment tool and select align to center. And that will just ensure it's perfectly lined up to the center. If you want it to line up with the sides, then go up to the alignment tool again and align to middle. And then it's perfectly centered. Once you're happy with your designs, just zoom out. What we need to do is to make the back, but we need to copy and paste as many of these onto the page as we can, because when we come to print out, then we want to ensure that we've got as many on our page as possible. So what you need to do is to select the text part of your business card, select the card itself, go to graphics format, go to group and select group. And now you can move your entire business card around your document. You can now go ahead and start to copy and paste it. So once it's selected, you can either go up to the Home tab, select copy and paste. That's one method. You can then hold Command or Control C down, Command or Control V to paste again. Or you can simply hold your Alt key down, click and drag. Any one of those methods will work. Now, just to go back a few steps, because I want to make sure these are perfectly lined up, what we're going to do is to line up these two cards first. So line them up as much as you can on your piece of paper. And then I'm going to select them. Go to graphics format, go to align and align to top. Once they're perfectly aligned, I'm going to go to group and select group. Then, as you can see, you can move them round together in your document. Then I'm going to go to the alignment tool again and I'm going to align them to the center of my document. Make sure on the align menu it's checked at align to margin. Perfect. Now all we need to do is to copy and paste this. So the way I like to do it is just hold the Alt key down, click and drag, and then once again, once these two are selected, go back up to align, align to center, and then go to group and select group, back to align, align to center, make sure everything's lined up, click and drag one more time. In fact, we'll get another one in at the bottom, and then we can align them like this. Then I'm just going to ungroup the bottom one, go up to group, ungroup, select this row, hold the Alt key down and click and drag. Okay, now I'm going to highlight everything, holding the Command or Control key down. Then I'm going to align, align to center, and then go to group, and then select group. Then I'm finally going to go up to align, align to center, align, align to middle. So now all your business cards are perfectly lined up to the center of your document. And the reason that's so important is because then when you come to print on the back and you turn the page over, it needs to be lined up to print perfectly in line on the back of your business card. Now I've just noticed that I think there might be a slight gap difference between these two cards and these two. So I'm going to ungroup everything, skip ahead if you don't want to watch this section, ungroup the top. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that these elements are grouped. So I just want rows of groups so that I can spread them out equally. Group them all so that's grouped and that's grouped. So we've got rows of groups here. Then hold the Command or Control key down, select them all, go up to Align, and then go down to Distribute Vertically. And this will mean that there is exactly the same gap between each row. And you can see there has been a slight nudging. Then go up to Group again and select Group. Once again, just align to the middle and to the center, just to make sure everything's perfectly lined up. Once I've done that, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to hit Page Break. Now it doesn't matter if this is on the first or the last page, and now all I'm going to do is select all of those business cards, and then I'm simply going to hold the Alt or Option key down, click and drag. Once again, I'm going to go up to Graphics Format, Align to Center, and Align to Middle. Now, if this doesn't appear at the top, these two don't appear at the top, Graphics Format or Shape Format, is because you haven't selected your shape or your graphics. Now, because this isn't in a group, we're going to go back up to Shape Format and we're going to ungroup everything. So now all the rows are grouped, go back up to Group and ungroup all the rows. So now what we need to do is to go ahead and change the text. Now you could do it as we did before and make up one card and then copy and paste, but you have to be sure that the distances between the cards and the margins are exactly the same. So because Word can be a little bit clunky at times and doesn't always line up, I'm going to keep the cards as they are here and I'm just going to change the text. So we've done the front of our card and now we're going to do the back. Doesn't matter which way around you do this because you're just going to print on the back of the page. So let's ungroup all of this. Ungroup. And as you can see, we can get rid of this if we want to. So let's just zoom in. Let's just ungroup the graphics from the text, get rid of the graphics. And now we've got this text. Now you can use the text just as it is, but I'm going to reduce the distance between the characters again. So I'm going to double click. You can choose a completely different font, it's entirely up to you. But I'm just going to go down to font, and the spacing here I'm just going to put 0 and then click OK. And then double click and then just put in my text. So the name. And then so I don't have to fiddle about with too many text boxes, I'm just going to put my job title underneath. So I'm just going to put my job title underneath here and just reduce the size of this one. Go up to the Home tab and then you can use these increase or decrease font size tools. And again, you can move this around anywhere you want to. Now again, we've customize this text box and our text. So instead of making a new one, I'm just going to copy and paste. Make sure you click off it and click back on when you've copied and pasted, otherwise it will select both of those text boxes. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and place my contact details. So once I've inserted all of my text, I want to increase the distance between each line, but I don't want to put in a big space like this. So the way we do it is highlight your text, go to the Home tab, and go along to this icon here. Click on the drop down, and then select on the line spacing that you want. So in here, I'm going to choose 1.5. Perfect. And then we can just bring that down to the corner here. Great, so now we're just going to insert some little icons next to your contact information. So we're going to go up to Insert, Icons, and then the first one will be Location, and that will bring up this pointer here. I'm going to select that one, click Insert. So once again, it's disappeared to the back here. So go straight up to Wrap Text and select in front of text. Again, once you're on here on the Graphics Format tab, just go along to Graphics Fill and select White. Then I'm just going to reduce this in size whilst holding down the Shift key to maintain its ratio. And then we're just going to put that one by the side here. The next one we're going to select is a globe or the Earth. I think if you just put in globe, in fact, no, let's put in website. Here we go, let's select this one, click Insert, again straight up to Wrap Text, in front of text, Graphics Fill, White, reduce whilst holding down the Shift key, and then move it next to the website. We'll line all these up in a minute, so don't worry about the different sizes and where they're lying at the moment. So email, we need an envelope. We'll select this one, click Insert, Wrap Text, in front of text, Graphics Fill, White, reduce whilst holding down the Shift key. There we go. And the last one will be a telephone. We can just put in phone. I'll select this one, Insert, Wrap Text, in front of text, Graphics Fill, White, reduce whilst holding down the Shift key. Oh, that's flipped over. Just reduce that down. Okay, so the next thing to do is to get these graphics exactly the way you want them. So let's just zoom in a bit more. So just reduce the size down. Don't forget to hold the Shift key to maintain your ratio. So once you've roughly got them to where you want them, just select them all by holding down the Command key. Make sure you're on the Graphics Format tab, go to Align, click on the drop down and select Align to Center. That will center all your icons. Once you're happy, turn them into a group, go up and select Group. If you're happy with where they line up, hold the Command or Control key down and select the information next to it, and go back up to Group and select Group. Now you have the whole of your contact information as one group. Let's just zoom out. Just move that up a bit. Once you're happy, select them both holding down the Command or Control key and turn it into a group. And then what I'm going to do to ensure that each of these are exactly the same, I'm going to actually hold my Command or Control key down and select both the card and the text, go to Align, and click Align to Center. So I know now that if I align everything to the center on every single card, then everything will be exactly the same. So I'm just going to zoom out, and then I'm just going to take out all of this text. Now that does mean going through and ungrouping everything. So if I highlight everything that I want to ungroup, go to Group, Ungroup, and hopefully, yeah, I can just select the center text and icon, go through and just delete them all. Then I just grab this one and again hold down my Alt key, click and drag, click and drag. I'm just going to do this to all of them first, and then I go ahead and line them all up. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to line it up with the bottom because that's where this one is lined up. You can see it's, or it was, just above the bottom there. So I need to leave a small gap. There we go. So once you've clicked on the text, again, click on your card, go to Align, Align to Center. Again, you've got that small gap. Highlight the card again, Align to Center, and I'll go through and do all of these and speed up the video. Perfect. So everything's now completely lined up. So if you go ahead and print this out back to back, you'll find that once you cut it out, you'll have a perfect alignment. So I hope all that's helped you today. If it has, please subscribe and have a great day.